Welcome back to our Winning Parents Conference. So we'd like to thank once again Pastor Andoni and Brother Joseph Sibalius for the breakout session a while ago. So now, dito na tayo sa Parents Panel Interview at syempre meron tayong mga interviewees and we'd like to introduce to all of you. For those who are watching online, prepare your questions. Hard questions for them. Okay. And also to our mga kotiran dito on site, right? Okay. So our interviewees would like to introduce to you husband and wife, ladies and gentlemen. Let us give it up for Brother Melvin and Sister Jedi. All right. Praise the Lord. Okay.
So, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Brother Melvin and my wife, Sister Judy. We are here in this church for 14 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Amen. So, we are also the proud and blessed parents of Zylene and Sam, who are 20 and 8, respectively.
You're here already in Win Calgary for 14 years. Gaano kayo katagal as husband and wife?
21.
21 years. We have also mother and daughter, Atenida and Danielle. All right.
Good afternoon. I am Sister Nida. I am a mom of 2 and a Lula of 1. And by the way, we are going on our 22nd year with Win Calgary.
Wow. How about Danielle?
Hello, I'm Daniel. I am not a mother,
Yet.
but I have a mother, and I'm also not a Lola. And yeah, I'm my mom's daughter. That's me.
All right. We have prepared hard questions for you guys, so I know and believe that you are prepared. Okay, so the first question, and this question goes out to the husband and wife, Kuya Melvin and Ari Jutai. All right, so the question is, what is the funniest moment for you about parenting?
The funniest one is when you see your kids funny. Make fun of you because of your accent. The funniest is that when we are going on road trip, and then we have one topic, and then we join all together laughing, and just having fun. That's the first one. And then when we were together in our bedroom, our bed is only queen, and then we were all together on 4 of us squishing together, and then we were laughing. So so that's the even now, So that is the funniest time. And then also when you see your kids following what you are teaching them, especially with the Lord, like funny. Well,
That's serious.
well, ikaw naman.
Well, anyway, ilang taon na po ba yung panganay po ninyo? How old is
20.
your 20 years
She
old
just
now?
turned 20 last month. Yeah.
So what's the funniest moment when your youngest was a baby?
I think for both of them, like what it happened with Sai and again with Sam, with me, One time we were like lying down on the bed face to face, and then like they were just looking at me so intensely and like, oh, mom, like, yeah, then, what happened? Like, I was like, yeah, does it hurt? Like, do they hurt? Like, what hurts? Like your face. How come? That's that for me was the funniest ever because it happened with Sai when she was like 5, and then again with Sam now. Like, you see, I have like scars on my face, right? And she was like, "Oh, mommy, those owie?" Like, yeah, pimple scars. But yeah, I find that funny. It's fine. They love me anyway.
Alright. Naging mahirap ba para kay Kuya Malvin yung mag-alaga ng baby nung baby pa ang panganay niyo?
Oh yeah, that's the hard part. Until 3 years old up to 4, because one from baby up to 5, you will experience yung kanilang pag halimbawa nilalagnat sila, inuubo, tapos as a parent, you will carried away dun sa situation nila. So even nighttime we will run to children's hospital, and then we will stay there up until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's the hard part of being a parent, especially only me and Judy is taking care of kids. There's no relatives. Like other family has relatives and their mother is here just to take care of them. But for me and Sister Judy, we are taking care of all those things and have to go through all those situations. That's why when Sam is already like this age, we are almost almost done. All those kinds of things. So it's very difficult for the young family with the small kids, and we experience a lot. And then especially when during nighttime, when they are crying, then you rush right away. Even if you are sleeping, and then you are so sensitive with their cry, and then you will wake up right away and run to their room, and then you take care of them. It's hard for the young family with the small kids, but that's life.
All right, thank you so much, Kuya Melvin and Sister Juday. What about Atenida and Daniel? What's the funniest moment for both of you as a mother and daughter?
I remember one incident. I think Daniel was still in grade 1 or grade 2, somewhere there. But we were still in Bridalwood, and for some reason I was mad at her. I think it's about her not finishing up her breakfast before going to school. And I was like so mad because she's getting sickly and skinny that time. And so I was like scolding her in Tagalog. Like, ang dami ko nang sinabi, blah, 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 blah. And then for example, I was here and that's the table, the dining table. And suddenly, she cried, she cried a lot. And I asked her, now why are you crying that hard? I was just telling you to finish your breakfast. But then I was really telling her a lot of things. And she said, because I don't understand what you're saying. So I don't know if she remembers this. It just flashed in my mind now. Yeah, and it like, I was mad, and at the same time I laugh at myself, and it's the funniest thing I think I had with her. And yeah, I think I told you this story before. Yeah.
I was trying to think, but I can't remember one. But I think just in general, and this is bad, but maybe even the young people agree that a lot of the funny moments in the family come from when we not make fun of our parents, but poke fun at our parents. And you know what I mean? Like, and they allow us because they love us and they're confident. But yeah, like I have a lot of moments with my dad where just the Filipino accent, but he knows I love him and it's out of love. But yeah, I think those are the funny moments is, yeah, when we get to correct them when we're older. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danielle and Tanida. So let's move on to the next question. What's the best moment about parenting for you?
We all know that parenting is not easy, right? And it comes with challenges too. But hearing our children appreciate and recognize that we are doing great, for me, is the best and most rewarding part. So both Sai and Sam, they really love to give us love letters and like post-it notes. You can see on the fridge, on our laptops, like table, like you just wake up and there's on the switch sometimes, just to tell us how they appreciate us. Just over lunch on Wednesday, we brought Sai to Grey Eagle for just a lunch buffet because we had our dual citizenship and Sam was at school. So we went there and then suddenly she just said, Mom, you know what? If I were to go to a store and buy parents, then no, I would choose you again. Like, right? Like, and then I said, really? Well, of course we're not like perfect. No one is perfect. Is there anything that we could have, at your age now, is there anything that we could have done better? Like, no, I wouldn't change anything. Like everything happened for a reason. You disciplined me because I needed to, you needed to, and this and that. And then she said, I love how God is so evident in your and our lives, how He is the center of all you do, and how you both teach me and Sam live for God as well. And then just, I love you, Mom. And Sam is like that too.
So the best moment and funny is that funny. I'll go back to the funny.
May extension pa.
Well, every night and every morning we are praying for two of them, and then when we are praying, because sometimes the words is sometimes it's the same from previous previous nights, or then they continue the prayer. You say no.
Okay, like protect them. Oh, I know. From the top of their head to the tip of their toes, like let them the head and not the tail. Like, like why are you telling? That's what prayer. Like, well, I know you say that.
And the what? Ano yung question na nga?
What is the best moment
Oh,
about parenting?
Okay, the best moment is yeah, when you see your kids do what you teach them. I'm talking spiritually. When you see them follow what you are saying, because one of the struggles of parents, so we are not yet on that one, but is that when you see them not following you, so that's one of the it hurts us as a parents, especially you are doing everything for them, like sacrificing, providing them all the things that they need, and then in one moment there is one instance that they are not following you, and then all those things. So that's the one that hurt parents most. So when you see them following what you are saying, and then following also the things that you are doing as well in the ministry or in the schools or in general, then that's what satisfies us as a parents. I think that's I think that's the one thing that parents wants to see, that their children follow what you are saying, because you are older than them, you have more wisdom than the kids, and because sometimes they think that they know things, but it's not right.
I have a follow-up question. I was supposed to ask this question to Kuya Joseph and Ate Rose a while ago, but time is short. So your daughter is already 20 years old, right? So my question is, as Christian parents, Is there a moment that you have given her an advice when it comes to having a boyfriend?
Yeah, no, we always like because there came a point in Sai's life when one time she asked, "Mom," because some of her peers have relationships now, right? So then one time she asked, "Mom, am I that ugly? Am I that not lovable? Like, Mom, how come? That's right. That's normal, right?" So we just had to assure her that God has prepared someone for her, that you don't have to look for love. You don't have to look for that person. He will look for you. And then, okay. So, and then one time, again on that lunch we had on Wednesday, it was like, "So, Dad, what's the..." And then, "So, Dad, are you okay with the whoever will be the man, is it okay if he's this?" And she said some kind of like any kind of race, like, for example, like, "Are you open to that?" Like, "No." Dito said right away, like, "Dad, don't be racist. Like, how about if like..."
Well, for me,
He wants Filipino.
no, for me is that
Come on.
uh, that will come. That will come in the future. If if you are studying, study well. If you are after you study, then that's a time that you will.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free, right? But in the things that you are doing, you do your best. So that's because that's what the Lord wants us to do. Do your best. Anything that you think, you say, you do it for His glory. So do your best. If you're studying, study. If you are working, you work. Because if you are in half, then you will not do. You will not do, have. Yeah, it means that you are not you are not putting your best on what you are doing. So you will not get what's the what do you call this? You will not get the maximum or advantage of what you are doing. So, but for let's say for what you were saying, for the love or something or relationship, there is one for you that the Lord has given, because I am praying that for a long time, even young. So the Lord is going, and I believe, and I know that the Lord, when you are praying for a long time and you are praying and then you are trusting, there will be one. So you don't need to look for it. And the Lord is going to give it to you. So yeah.
Okay, so that means when she's done on her studies, she's free to be courted. Right.
Time will come, time will come, the right time. Because if you are going to push things not on the right time, it's not going to, it's not going to work. Something, something is not right, something like that.
Okay.
There is always a right time.
What about Atenida and Daniel? What's the best moments for both of you as mother and daughter?
Pastor, best moments or moment, because it's so hard to think of just one, because there's a lot, and one of the many is when they follow you. Like, say for example, when me and Daniel had a conversation about getting into a serious relationship, that I laid down my thought about it, and she followed it, and that was one of my happy moments, because
Wow.
because I was certain that she is an obedient daughter, and by maybe I can elaborate, because it is this is in particular with her studies. So I told her that if you wanna be in a serious relationships, you might as well finish your studies first, or maybe just one semester before your graduation, it will work for me. But the reason is that the reason behind it is not because I am overly protective or overly aiming that, you know, when you're done your university, you will be financially stable or you will find a good job. It's not that. I was so clear enough that when I told her that when you finish your studies or your degree, that means there will be a lot of experiences of discipline that you will be having in that period of being in university. So by the time you will be in a serious relationship, you will have so much of that experience, tenacity and everything that you will bring into that relationship, so it will be more strong. It will be stronger. Because I was telling her that, you know, in school, it is not just the academics, it's not just the intellectuals, it is the discipline that you are getting while sitting 8 hours inside the room. So that's the reason behind. That's why I was so happy that she followed, and that's one of the happiest moment in our lives.
So that
as
means you
parents.
have given Daniel a standard when it comes to having a serious relationship.
Come again, Pastor.
You've given her a standard,
Just a very simple standard,
like
you know.
dapat Christian or dapat matangkad, guwapo, like ni Pastor Bruno, katulad niya.
It is a blessing that she ended up with Bruno.
Amen.
It is a blessing actually, but you know, when your daughter reached the age of 18 or 21, I have this conviction that you don't own her or you don't own them, your children. So whoever the Lord, you know, allows them to encounter. But you see, I always have this principle that I laid down before them, even when they were younger. Like, you know, even if it's in the Bible that, you know, you should not cohort or you should not be with someone who is not a Christian. But if it's the way of the journey you have in your life, you can't do anything as a parent, right? But I always give them this principle that, you know, when it comes to faith, when it comes to your destiny, when it comes into your own journey, I always tell them this train analogy, this train principle that, you know, you have this faith and you're going, say for example, you're coming from Southwest C train and you're going to Northwest, but then the train passed by downtown and you opted to go downtown. That means that's something, you know, that's a long period of being away from the Lord. It's up to you. In this case, if you know, you chose to be with a guy who is not with the same faith as you, that's your journey. But then as we entrust them to the Lord, we have this faith that they will still have to reach Northwest, but it will just take a longer time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Danielle? What's your best moment with your mom?
Can I go off of?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one thing I really appreciate with my parents, and of course this is maybe 18 and up now, like when I'm stepping into adulthood, is that they always gave me the space to make my own decisions. And I know that sounds really scary, but that for us, that looked like counsel, and I had to have their counsel, right? And giving them space to give me counsel and actually asking for wisdom. But at the end of the day, I never remember my parents ever forcing me into any decision when I was an adult already. Of course, it's a little different when you're younger, but yeah, they always trusted me at the end of the day and always provided support. And I think that that is really important, especially when you're going into adulthood. I really appreciate that because there's a difference when you know your parents have your back and you, like, I feel like they intentionally made it a point to raise good decision makers. And I don't mean that as in perfect decision makers, because I definitely don't always make the right decision. But I mean that in they provided the counsel, they provided the support. And now that I'm in my 20s, I am confident that I'm capable of making good decisions. And my mom always empowered me to do that. So I think that's one of the things I appreciate the most. Like with the example with the relationships, I was very open with them about most of my relationships. Just kidding. The serious ones, you know, and serious one. And yeah, singular. Yeah, and they never forced anything, but that didn't mean they didn't provide wisdom and counsel because I needed guidance and all of that. So I think there's definitely a balance with giving counsel and sermon, and then also at the end of the day, letting them know that I fully trust you and you're capable of making good decisions. Because there will come a time, and I'm seeing that now, where they're not there to make the decision for you, and the last call is now on you. And so if you don't let them exercise that muscle of making decisions, taking responsibility of your decision, like when they're in that situation where they don't have you there, it'll be a little bit harder. So yeah, I think that's one of the best things they've done is trusted me and given me space to make decisions, whether it was the right one or the wrong one. They were always there at the end of it. So, yeah.
Has your parents something so strict about?
Strict?
Yeah.
I think it wasn't strict in my eyes, but I think when I hear from like my other friends, especially non-Christian friends, they would tell me, "Oh, that's strict." So, like growing up, I had curfew, of course. I can't think of anything else strict. I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers, of course, with a guy there. Like, you know, those things that you grow up with. And then as you get older, it becomes more serious. Boundaries, like for my relationship with Bruno, like we're not allowed to be in a house alone together, or when we are hanging out, we have to be in the living room where we are fully in view. But like I said, like even though there were these boundaries, like I never associated it with strict, and I think that that was probably a win for you guys because I never saw it as strict or controlling because they did so well at balancing that with trust. And like I saw it as loving, maybe not all the time, of course. I definitely like the bug up the stairs sometimes, but yeah, I think they did a really good job in that balance. Yeah, I have one example. Can I share it, or are we?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So for example, strict or boundaries, like in high school and university, I got a summer job at an ice cream shop, and the hours there were really late, so I would come home around midnight, and it was a very labor-intensive job, like carrying buckets of ice cream, scooping, and dealing with rude customers and all of that. And at first, I knew my parents didn't want me to get that job because, you know, I'm a fragile little girl to them sometimes, and like they want to protect me whenever they can. But at the end of the day, like that balance I was talking about, like they let me have the job and they gave me the freedom to keep doing it. And I worked there for almost 3 summers, I think. But there are times where I would see them come in to get ice cream, and they would be checking up on me, I think. And then there are other times where I would be doing a closing shift, so I would go home around midnight. And when I look outside, like walking to my car, they're parked like a little bit further down. And like all that to say, like I never saw that and was like, oh my gosh, they're so creepy. Like that's so stalker. Like why are they doing that? I never associated it with that. And in fact, like it made me feel so loved because they trusted me and they let me make my decision to work there. But at the same time, they still didn't take their hand off of me throughout all of it. So yeah, I think that's just an example of the kind of parenting style they had. Yeah.
Thank you so much, so Danielle. So before we move on to the next question, do we still have time? Or do we have commercial breaks? Wala po, sorry. Okay, let's move on. Huh?
Welcome to Prince Alan TV.
Prince Alan TV.
Sharing word, worship, inspirational ministry, and public affairs. Only here on Prince Alan TV. Keep it right here on Prince Alan TV. Prince Alan TV. Prince Alan TV.